Welcome to the Conversation Arena. Nice to have you with us today. We're off to a festival of dreams, and Rosie Shaloub is joining me live in the studio today. How are you, Rosie?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
You've got a bit of an interesting life. How did you get into this wonderful world of spirituality? What happened in your life?
Oh my God, that goes back to when I can ever remember, when I was about 3, I think.
It's been in your blood that long?
It's been in my blood that long. I used to have a lot of imaginary friends.
Yeah.
And nobody believed me when I used to talk to them about my friends. And then when I sort of got into primary school, I would have even more imaginary friends. I would know things about people that I'm not supposed to know.
Wow.
Secrets about people that were being held. And I would just know stuff.
Yeah. Was it more, do you think that was a form of psychic ability, or was it just you were more in tune with something else that others weren't?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I used to have visits through the night from so-called dead people.
Yeah.
And they would come and chat with me and, you know, have a lot of fun with them. But I think as I got into more my teenage years, I started getting away from that. People saying to me that it's in your head, or you know, starting to thinking I'm going a bit crazy or something like that. So
I mean, fantasy is a big part of growing up as a child.
Yeah.
So do you think we're moving away from that in today's world? Do you think that kids don't have all those fantasies anymore because it's, no, that doesn't exist, Santa's not real?
I think it's more so now with Harry Potter.
Okay.
And I know in my household, my kids are so into fantasy.
Yeah.
They don't even know what the real thing is anymore. But I think it's more so now, and I think there's more encouragement from parents for kids to talk to their angels or to talk to their guides. And I just know from my work, I have a lot more interaction with children who are into crystals.
And is that a growing phenomenon?
Yeah, it is.
And why do you think
massive.
that is?
I think I go back to Harry Potter, I go back to the show Charmed, I go back to all that sort of stuff in Hollywood, which they glorify a lot of it as well, but it creates some sort of magic for people, it creates some sort of hope, you know, all that sort of thing. And
you, later in life, moved into an industry of hope. So what happened in your life before you got to that?
Well, I'm a single mum of twins.
Right.
So I brought them up for the first 6 years of their life, which was a really, I don't sort of wish that on anybody, it was a really hard time in my life.
Yeah.
I worked really hard to get to where I was. So while I was pregnant with them, I was still working waitressing and doing all different other jobs and things, but I hated what I was doing, and I knew I was always going to get called back into this world.
Yes.
I used to do professional psychic readings many years ago.
Yeah.
But the minute I got pregnant, I sort of stopped all that.
So in the world that we're working in, I've often wondered, what's it like to be a psychic? What makes you different to others, and what's it like to be walking around and having all this energy around you?
Okay, well, first of all, that used to happen in my younger days. Now that I'm a lot older, I've learnt how to protect myself. I've learnt how to switch things off. It's not like that anymore.
No.
So, but what's it like to be a psychic? I don't know anything different. It's a part of who I've been since I was very, very little.
So do you think being a single mum spurred you on to be an entrepreneur?
Well, I was a little bit of an entrepreneur before the kids.
Yeah.
So I do have another business. I set up Christmas ball stands in shopping centres. So I'm the one that you see painting on the balls. Yeah, so I've been doing that for many, many years. And I think the kids, they've definitely been my inspiration.
Yeah. So running a business now, and you're working in this world of helping people, what is the main thing that people come into you searching for?
Well, one of the things that we always say about Embrace is we really do sell hopes and dreams. Everybody, it doesn't matter who they are, where they come from, what their background is, everyone's got the same thing. It's always about love, it's always about money, and it doesn't discriminate.
So I'm going to ask you about Lisa Williams in a minute, but the Festival of Dreams is a little baby of yours. How did that all come about?
So a couple of years ago, Westfields approached me. When I actually signed my lease for my shop, they said, look, we would love for you guys to put on a mind-body sort of spirit type
Yes.
thing for us. And I'm like, I can't do that. I've never done anything like this before. The first one went off really well. By the time I got around to the third one, it just got so big. We really needed to find a venue outside of the shopping centre where we could cater for all the people and the interest that was that we were creating.
And it's got bigger and bigger.
It's gotten massive.
Now, do you believe in divine destiny of things? Like, do you visualise things getting bigger and bigger, and do the right people come to you at the right time?
I do. When I was 20, and this is an honest-to-God true story, my uncle made me watch a movie called Field of Dreams with, who was his name, Costner?
Diane will know. Diane will
What's
know.
his name? Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
And I remember in the movie he had to build something, he had a voice in his head saying, if you build it, they will come. I remember going home that night and sitting on my bed, and I cried my eyes out because I knew that there was something that I was going to do. I just had no idea what it was. And over the years I was getting this woman coming to visit me in my dreams, and she kept sort of saying the same, not the exact same words, but something very similar, telling me that I will be doing something very big that will be involving a lot of people. I'm like, what is she talking about? And you know, it's so funny because now I actually look back and I'm like, I'm already doing it. Without thinking of what it is going to be, I'm already actually doing it.
So Lisa Williams, what's she like as a person, and how did she get involved in this whole
Lisa
thing?
Williams is, well, we're all big fans of Lisa.
Yes.
She's one of the most amazing mediums in the world. And my thing with Lisa is that she's just so down to earth. She doesn't hold any ego in her, and she's just an absolutely beautiful person. And so it just happened one day at our kitchen table. I was sitting with my best friend Harry and my partner Ross, and we just said, let's just get Lisa Williams in.
As you do.
As you do. And within a week, Lisa Williams was all signed on, and we all went from there.
What's the greatest piece of advice you can give to somebody who might be watching us today at the crossroads in their own life, whether it's financial, spiritual, relationship? You know, what's something that they could take away and do today that's going to make a change in their life?
I think for me it was surrendering. So once I surrendered and I prayed a lot and I just left it in God's hands, it was just, it all went smooth sailing from there.
One other question I wanted to ask you. With spirits and God, how does that work? Do they talk about God, some of the spirits, or is it so high up that we're not allowed to know those things?
No, I think you are allowed to know these things. I think there's definitely the angelic realm, which are very different to the spirit world. So the spirit world is really our loved ones that have passed over that want to give messages or give us some sort of comfort that they're still around. But God in himself, I think, is just a totally different conversation for a totally different day.
A totally different day, and sometimes when you pass over, you might get to talk to him.
Yeah, that's something like that.
Like, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah.
So the Field of Dreams, when's it happening?
Festival
of Dreams. How can we get involved in the Festival of Dreams?
The Festival of Dreams is being held on the 23rd and the 24th of August. It's held at the renowned Hordern Pavilion. So, I mean, the Hordern Pavilion is something we've all grown up with.
Yeah.
Concerts
rock
and things and rock and roll and we're just wanting everybody to come.
Fantastic. And what's going to be there on the whole soiree of people? We're going to have mediums.
Other than Lisa Williams, we've got some amazing psychics that'll be on board. We've got my best friend Harry T. We've got Debbie Malone, who's Australia's 2013 Psychic of the Year. We have Raylene Cable, we have Stacey DeMarco, Alana Fairchild, Leah Scallon, we have Frances Bevan, who else can I
It's a star-studded event.
Amanda Rossetti, Mark Coleman. So there's some of our big stars that are coming.
Crystals.
We have crystals. So my shop Embrace will have their own store there. So we'll have crystals and jewellery and anyone who wants to learn how to read tarot or anything like that. So we'll have cards there for them. And
I know every time we do the show, Diane, who produces with us, is pulling out the angel cards.
The angel cards, yeah.
And sometimes they just fall out of the pack, some of them. It's like, well, that's the one we need to look at tonight.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to let everyone know it's not just a psychic event, though.
No.
I mean, psychic is in my world, but it's more a spiritual type event. So we're really incorporating everybody's faiths and cultures.
Sure.
So my shop Embrace was about incorporating everyone's differences and embracing everyone as one. So the festival's going to be along the same thing. So it's health and wellness and spirituality all combined into one.
I love all that. Well, Rosie, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Ben.
And of course, for more details, thefestivalofdreams.com.au. This is the Conversation Arena.
Oh, I have a little present for you. This is from Embrace. This is from me and the girls. So
oh, wonderful.
Something for you.
Is this now what my boss, Nag Champa, she burns this all the time.
Oh, it's our most popular selling incense, so that's really good.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that.